Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm talking about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's a blast from the past. Kind of, but not really again. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And that's not the case today. No, actually, I picked this particular item up sometime last week, so it's been a few days. I'd become aware of the product line's existence and had reviewed a few of the other available flavors. I did not know that this existed up until randomly finding it. But what is it, and why is it kind of a blast from the past, but not really? Well, folks, that's because, boom, it's Slice. But it's not just any slice. It's a classic cola slice. And if you're unfamiliar, Slice was a brand of flavored sodas from Pepsi that debuted in the 80s, made it into sort of like the early-ish 2000s kind of era. And eventually they just sold off the brand. So a new company picked it up, and they've rebranded it. Now it's a healthy soda with prebiotics and probiotics. Healthy, just tossing that out there. And yeah, so, that's kind of this whole neat little rebrand thing. I have already reviewed like the lemon lime, the orange, the grape versions. Cola, though, threw me, because when I think of Slice, even though I personally didn't really have much experience with the original Slice run, I always thought of it just as like fruit flavored stuff. But I did look into it, and it looks like they at least had a cherry flavored cola, but they never had like their own just classic cola, which makes sense because why would Pepsi create a rival to their own brand? So I guess this is just their version of things. It's got 5 grams of sugar, and what the fuck? Let's get a thing for the thing here real quick. Looks like this. We'll go, And yeah, I guess this is making a little bit of a buzz. I got a targeted article where people were like, oh shit, Slice is back. People seem to be excited about it. So, but like I said, this one, closest it had was a cherry cola back in the day. That must have been before Pepsi had their own cherry cola. Okay. Okay. Let's go in for a second sip. Always go in for a second sip before making judgment. Yeah, okay. It's fine. When it comes to colas, I'm somewhat particular. I enjoy a good cola. Probably my favorite brand, controversially, is RC Cola. I like RC quite a bit. But I like Pepsi, I like Coke, and I like, even some of the off-brand stuff, some of the, smaller batch stuff. I think cola, even though it can be looked upon as being kind of a basic soda, because again, it's so familiar to so many people around the world through like Coke and Pepsi, you can do a lot of cool things with cola. So this, I wasn't expecting it to be a straight cola flavor because it's got the prebiotics and probiotics, right? Plus, it's only 5 grams of sugar. Although I am interested, what else are you... Let's see. What else are you sweetened with? Organic cane sugar, lime juice, natural flavors, vegetable herbs, stevia. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah. Well, it's only 5 grams of sugars. You're also getting the stevia extract, which is also helping to sweeten it. That part they don't tag in. So here's the thing with this, and I've had like stevia sodas, like hell, Coke had their own run with that. It was like Coke Green or some shit like that. I can't remember the name of it, but like they tried the stevia thing for a while. And stevia sweetened soda is going to be different. It just is. Plus, you have the prebiotics and probiotics. So, what does this actually taste like? Kind of like a diet soda. That's more what it tastes like to me than a classic, like a solid standard cola. It's somewhere in between. I'll say that. It does have, like, quote unquote, like, real cola tasting notes, but it definitely, for me, gives off way more a vibe of like a diet soda. I will say it does have a cola flavor, though, to its credit. And I'll say this, too. Perhaps hearkening back to their original lineage, I would say that if it has a similarity to a popular cola, I would say it tastes a little bit more like Pepsi than it does Coke. But maybe that's just, my internal bias. It's not bad, but it's definitely not. I would say out of the ones that I've tried so far, this is my least favorite of the flavors. I think the fruit ones work better. Whereas with a cola, again, cola has a lot of dimension to it, but like it has a very defined sort of vibe that you have to hit. This certainly is in the realm, but it doesn't taste, again, like a non-diet soda. There's definitely stuff going on. As for the prebiotics, probiotics aspect, one thing I will give the new Slice line, a lot of credit for is that they've done a pretty good job of keeping those elements from making their drinks taste like anus. Because, especially a few years ago, like when I first started becoming aware of the probiotics soda bullshit, I tried some of them at the time, and they were all awful. Like, they tasted like straight fucking medicine. They were bad. Companies have seemingly figured out ways to make these work, and Slice tends to be one of the better ones. Now, that said, that doesn't mean it's not there to some extent. You definitely do get a little bit of an aftertaste that doesn't quite vibe with everything else that's going on. But it's not bad. I like the way it drinks. It's got a little thickness to it. I like that. I'm not big on like thin sodas. And I mean, maybe like a lemon lime, I can kind of let it go, but yeah. It feels, best way I can describe it, it feels like a diet soda that's trying to be a regular soda, which is probably more or less what it actually is when it comes down to it. It doesn't quite get there, but you can at least applaud the effort, I guess. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No, and maybe-ish. So yeah, for me personally, like the Slice line, and look, I'm not the market for this, right? Like I don't typically go out and buy these sodas unless it's for a review. There are exceptions though, like the banana cream pie one from Olipop, maybe? I want to say off the top of my head. I've picked that one up a few times because it's fucking banana cream pie soda. Where else can I get that? With the Slice line, I've been pleasantly surprised overall, but it's been a little hit or miss, nothing hugely, off base, but this, again, I do think is personally the weakest for me, and I do feel like if they're going to reintroduce the Slice line, and I'm all for that, even if it's in a, a healthy soda aspect, I kind of feel like sticking to the fruit flavors might be the most beneficial way forward. But for what it is, it's not a terrible thing, but it's definitely not something that I need to go back to. I think if I want a cola, I'm just going to get a real cola. If I want a diet cola, I have other options too. This one isn't bad. There's nothing I actively dislike about it. The aftertaste is a little bit, but but it's not anything that I need in my life personally. Now, if I'm recommending it, because the thing is that if you're somebody who's already into like the alternative soda scene, you probably already kind of have, your own vibes and your own personal favorites. Is this one better than other cola offerings for, again, these alternative sodas? Some, yeah, but I wouldn't say most. At least not that I've personally had. I would put this somewhere lower middle. It's not bad. Again, I don't think it does anything poorly. Um, but I've definitely had better alternative colas that I think hit the mark a little bit stronger than this one. It's not bad. I think it's one of those things, if you're interested, give it a go. If you're looking for that nostalgia aspect, well, that's not even here with this particular flavor because, again, as far as I could tell, they didn't have an original cola back in the day. So, again, that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe stick to the fruit stuff. Or, hell, come out with a cherry cola. That might be more obtainable within the flavors of what they're trying to do. 5 things before we get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there and have yourselves a truly nostalgia-tastic rest of your life. I mean, not really. You don't want to bank that hard on nostalgia all the time, but it is fun to go over there and dabble. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have any personal experience with the Slice brand? Because they're coming out with these flavors a little bit at a time, which I think is the smart way to do this. But are there any that were from back in the day? Because I had quite a range of stuff that haven't come back yet that you would like to see. I know they had a pineapple flavor back in the day. I saw that on the list of stuff. I'd like to see him do that, because of course I'm a pineapple slut. But let me know what you'd like to see return.